Hello, and welcome back to the Growth Club.
You don't know we out here, big man thing, is it me?
Wait until I say who it's with.
Oh, true.
With Mike and Jasmine.
You don't know.
If you didn't know
how it is, come on.
And welcome back to episode 14.
Episode 14, guys. We're going strong. Someone actually commented on that 12th episode saying, congrats on like getting through the first quarter. And I was like, oh crap, yeah, we've done 12 episodes. That's 12 weeks, you know.
That's crazy. When we were because this was in the works for a year before we actually started.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, it's gonna be like so much effort. I don't know if we're gonna have anything to talk about.
Yeah, facts.
Like I was just kind of going with the flow and was like, look, he'll figure itself out.
Why do you think it took us a year? Well, I don't think it was a year of like planning and execution or anything like that. But I think in terms
from when the idea,
from when we had the idea to when we actually launched it.
Yeah, it was a year.
Yeah, what happened within that year though? Why did you?
Why
not you? Why
purchasing equipment? We were just putting it off. To be honest,
we were trying to make sure it was perfect before we started.
Yeah, because we didn't want to just start and it not be perfect. Obviously, like you should still start regardless.
But even when we started, it wasn't perfect because we didn't even have visuals. Like if you guys clock, there's only from episode 4, and that's because we just did audio on Spotify. We just went for it. Quick service announcement. I hope you guys are enjoying the podcast. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and enjoy the rest of the episode.
So you say there's no perfect moment to start. Then why do you think it took us so long, in your opinion?
Speaking of remember on episode 12 I was trying to like stop saying like is another one I'm gonna try to stop it.
Great.
Yes, because there's power in silence, as they say. So the question that you posed to me is, why do you I think naturally humans we do that. I think we.
I'm so sorry.
Why are you laughing?
I just thought of a video that you made ages ago. I'm so sorry.
Guys,
so Mike,
you want to explain it still? No, let me explain because I'll show them what you're doing. So there's a video I made a while back. It's one of my storytelling videos on Instagram. And before I get into that, actually, you have a habit. Not a habit. You like to take the piss out of my videos.
No, I don't.
So guys, obviously, it takes a lot of courage and...
Don't you dare to go down this...
Can I speak my truth?
No, don't you dare to go down this route.
Hey, allow me to speak my truth.
Okay, go for it.
Give me a safe space. So, it takes a lot of courage to post on social media sometimes, right? Especially when you're trying to do like storytelling stuff and you're talking and there's voiceovers in the videos. Jasmine likes to find parts of the video... Well, no, Jasmine finds some parts of my videos very funny. And they also coincide with the parts that I find really cringe. So there's one video where I started with a particular sentence and then I go into as humans, and Jasmine always brings this part up. To be fair, it's jokes.
It's funny.
I made the video over a year ago. So that's what she's laughing at now when I just said as humans.
Yeah.
Why are you tearing up?
I'm so sorry, but we both found it funny. Anyway, I interrupted you.
Yes, you did.
But I couldn't hold it in.
Why are you tearing up?
Because I couldn't hold it in.
This is my thing with you is what? You only tear up in laughter when it's something to do with me. We can never watch something or watch a funny show. Or when I hurt myself. Tears automatically.
No. We watched Sheetsters.
Yeah.
I teared up at their podcast.
Okay. But why do you tear up at me hurting myself?
You're hilarious.
If I hit my toe, if I slip, you're clacking.
Because of your reaction, you're so extra.
I don't think I'm extra.
You are.
Anyway,
back to the point. Sorry, guys. For those of you who haven't seen the video that we're referencing, go watch it.
I'm going to archive it now so I can find it. But yeah, no, I think naturally we always tend to put stuff off because we always assume there's a perfect moment or perfect time for things, which doesn't exist. There never is the perfect time. I think the reason we took as long as we did is because we were waiting for that. But at the same time, we started at the perfect time. Even though at the moment it didn't feel like the perfect time, in hindsight it was, because there's a lot of stuff that happened in the latter stages of the year that we learned from, which we're
Mm.
also we're also able to now apply into the podcast and speak about
Yeah,
with the people and stuff like that. So I
that's
think
true.
it's never in the moment it never feels like the best time, but in hindsight, I think it's the best time. And now look at us, we're 12 episodes in.
That's
Oh,
crazy.
glory to God.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're 14 episodes in. Oh, glory to God.
Crazy.
Nuts. But yeah, look at us, man.
Crazy. I
Who would have
know.
thought? Actually,
know.
question, yeah. Is the podcast going the way you thought it was when we were in episode 1? And is it going better or is it going worse? Or is it just it is what it is? Actually, no third option. Ignore that. Just better or worse.
Oh, I was gonna go for the third.
No.
No, it's obviously getting better because we're analyzing and always trying to improve.
Sorry, no, I don't think you got my question. I mean, in terms of how you would have seen it 12 weeks in, is this how you thought it would be the way it actually is?
Oh,
So is it better or worse than what you imagined?
I don't think I imagined too hard. I was just going
Okay.
with the flow. Like, look, the hardest part was needing to start.
Yeah.
And then from there, time just went so quickly. I didn't even like think. So, for example, if this ends up being huge, like shits and gigs, huge kind of thing, I would never have seen that for it because not that I thought I'm limiting it or that we
Yeah.
can't do that. It's just we started this because we enjoy it. So, and we already know that it's going to be, as podcasts, they tend to do better 2 years after, like after 2 years.
Where is this fact coming from?
No, I just heard it somewhere. So it takes a while. So YouTube
Yeah,
in
yeah,
general,
yeah,
so
yeah.
YouTube in general, you don't see instant gratification.
Yeah.
Not even gratification.
Growth.
Instant growth.
Yeah.
So I already have that mindset going in. So if it does, turn out to be huge, that's great. But I'm not putting any pressure on it because we enjoy doing it.
Yeah, I think we said early on that the goals we have are more set around things we can control.
Yeah.
So our goal was like, let's make sure we post every single week for a year. That was the kind of like goal we set ourselves. And because we're achieving that, happy days. And I think it's part of our routine now almost. So even when I got that comment, I'm like, wow, we actually posted 12 weeks in a row. It doesn't feel like that because it's just what we do now, and it's just part of our routine. But yeah, if anything comes out of it, I'd be happy. At the end of the day, it's more of like a passion project.
Yeah.
We felt led to kind of share our story and how we and our journey as we grow in faith and business and just life in general, which is why it's called the Grow Club, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
like we're not perfect. We're learning with everyone else.
Yeah, we want everyone to learn. We want to create a community where we can all learn and grow in that same space.
So if we see something wrong and some of you, what's it called, keyboard warriors, are in the comments.
Talk to them, man. Talk to them.
Sorry, but we're trying to learn as well. So, it's you that put us on a pedestal. And in a sense, like, why are you thinking you can say this, and this? And like, hey, we're just talking. We're just trying to learn.
Yeah, no, facts. Yeah. Take everything we say with a pinch of salt. Even if it sounds great, take it with a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
And, correct us if we're wrong. Say stuff in the comments. Let's chit-chat.
Nicely.
Exactly.
Be nice people. Okay, speaking on long-term vision then, do you have any long-term vision for the podcast, or are you kind of on the same wavelength as me? It's like, look, if it does well, it does well. If it doesn't, we're just enjoying the journey.
I'm not putting any expectations on it, but I would like for it to grow.
Yeah.
Because for me, it's more so the community aspect that I want to create.
Yeah, for sure.
I think a few podcasts back, you asked me like what I'd like to. I don't know if it was a legacy or what, like people to remember me as or something like
exactly
that. It was mainly along the lines of like encouraging people and motivating people to be the best they can be. So obviously, if our platform grows, I guess we can do that for more and more people. But in terms of like numbers, not really. It'd be great to like, grow this to a point where we can monetize it and even just build a bit of a team and automate it, because it does take a lot of our time at the moment. Not too much time, but it takes a chunk of it. But in terms of like long-term visions, no. Like I don't really see us doing like shows and stadiums and
Yeah, it's a bit mad, isn't it, to think of that?
yeah, because what would we be doing there? Like just talking and everyone's looking.
Yeah.
It's a mad
Yeah.
sorry, it's a mad concept when you think about it.
Unless we have our own TED Talks.
In what you're doing in the podcast.
No, like the Growth Club TED Talk.
Go on.
So you know how there's different speakers that go to TED Talks?
Yeah.
We would just be one of the speakers.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like we host our own tech talk where we get loads of
No,
different speakers.
no.
Why don't we do that then?
Yeah, okay.
That could
If
be.
you guys want to apply,
That
get
could
in
be
early.
no, but that could be the format though.
Mm,
Because obviously we're thinking allow sitting down, and everyone's just looking at us.
mm.
But imagine we had like
It wasn't just us, we had support and acts.
yeah, so we had a load of different speakers, and then at the end of it we do our sit down pod, and then we discuss. But then we also have the panel there.
Yeah.
And we
Stephen
just
Bartlett, if
cracked
you're
it.
watching,
Don't mind
then
him.
you can apply through our email.
You can apply, imagine. But yeah, no, I think we cracked it if we're to ever do a
Yeah.
show. That's kind of. I
So
hope we haven't given the idea out.
Yeah,
If you
well,
guys see anyone do that,
let us know.
it's come from here.
Yeah, it's come from here. Oh, we just came up with a business plan right here on the pod.
Uh,
This is how it goes though when you and I are having chats.
yeah,
We just go, ooh, what's that idea?
yeah. Let's do this. Let's try that.
Yeah. Before you know it, we've got like 10 other business ideas.
Yes, sir.
Wonder if anyone else is like that. How do you stay motivated, Mike? When
Mike.
Yeah, that's your name, no?
I know, but it's so formal. When do you say it? When do you talk to me like that?
What would you suggest?
How do you say? How do you stay? No, bear in mind we're already in mid conversation. How do you stay motivated, Mike?
Because
What if I
it rolled
went-
off like this M. Because it rolled off the tongue. Motivated, Mike.
We be spitting now, huh?
Uh-huh.
Yes, sir. So sorry. What was the question?
Gotta think of it now.
She says as she looks down at her notes. Gotta think of it now.
How do you stay motivated when your business isn't making money yet? So say let's
Excuse me.
create an avatar. Let's just say someone started a business. They're
Yeah.
they're a year or two into it, but it's not really making money yet. So how do you stay
A year or
motivated?
two in and it's not making money. Ooh.
Well, a year. Let's say a year.
Yeah.
Their
Wait, what's the
first
money?
year.
Do you mean they're making zero or they're not making a lot?
They're not making any money yet. Or maybe not a lot of money. Not enough to leave their job or anything like that. Let's just go with
How do
that.
you stay motivated?
Yeah.
Ooh. I think if your reason for business is rooted in a passion or a goal that gives you purpose, that'll allow you to go for longer.
So you're not.
Go on.
No, I don't want to eat you to lose your thought.
No, stop. Go on. What were you gonna say?
Because if it's just wrapped up in get rich quick, then you're like, okay, well this doesn't work. Move on.
Or even just getting rich at all, because I don't think getting rich is a strong enough motivator.
Yeah.
Because
then you'll start making excuses like, oh, okay, maybe it's not so bad just where I am.
no, not even that. But I think if it's rooted in like money, when it's 5:30 in the morning and you need to get up, and for example you're already making a bit of money, you're gonna think, I've made X amount, let me chill out this morning. Whereas if you have like a deeper rooted goal where it's like, I'm trying to get to this place so I can do this for this person or I can provide for that person. I think that's a stronger driver. Do you get what I'm saying? Because especially if it's money, then it's like you're gonna try every
not necessarily ethical.
Yeah, that's one thing. But at the same time, you'll probably try so many different versions of business. Like you may not stick it out for the 2 years because at the end of the day, you just need money.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So, I think a year in, I think just finding your driver and finding what it is that is your why essentially. Obviously as well, you need to be very self-aware because sometimes it may not be a case of you not being motivated enough. Maybe the business vehicle you're in is never going to make that type of money that you thought. So there's certain businesses where making 10K is the norm. There's certain businesses per month. There's certain businesses that making 50K per year is the norm. There's certain businesses where if you're making $1,000 in that business, you're killing it, but because it's not normal to make that amount. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think depending on what your offer is, what your service is, will determine how much money you make. So I think definitely within that, also think about what it is that you're offering and how much you can actually make from this. Because there's a lot of businesses that they sound cool, or you may even have a passion in it,
Mm,
but if there's no vehicle to get you from 0 per month to 15 per month to 20 per month, then you're not. It's just not going to work. Do you
mm,
see what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah.
Has your vehicle changed since starting out in because you've
Yeah.
been self-employed for a
Yeah.
couple of years now?
Yeah. It definitely did. Let's just say now I started as a. It started with me video editing for people.
Yeah, on like Fiverr and
Yeah, on
things like
like
that.
Fiverr, just whatever. Yeah, so there's loads of different websites online where you can go put your service up and just get money from it. So obviously Fiverr was a big one for me. At the
Mm,
start, it was like doing Instagram outreach, so messaging local businesses, referrals, etc.
mm,
So it was a lot of. It's very slow at the beginning, but yeah, a lot of it was through Fiverr. And the thing with me being like a editor slash freelancer at the time
mm,
is that it's not scalable.
mm,
So what I mean when I say it's not scalable, doesn't it can't grow exponentially.
mm,
So in terms of for me to make more money, I need to do more work.
yeah.
So there's going to be a limit to how much money I can make, which is basically all the hours of the day or all the hours I'm awake in the day. When I'm asleep, I can't make money. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you want to build a scalable business, that's when you need to bring in a team so you can delegate and basically delegate roles, delegate jobs, and doesn't necessarily mean you need to be there to make the money. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah,
So I've
100%.
gone from like being like a freelancer slash video editor, which I still do, um, to more of like an agency owner slash service provider.
Mm,
So now when I started, I'd edit and video, I'd do video edits and stuff for anyone who needed it.
mm,
Do you see what I'm saying?
mm,
Now that I've moved more into more of an agency model, I have a specific type of client. I have a specific type of offer. Whereas, for example, it could be we will help you get more clients using this system that we have.
yeah.
And my price point is very different because now my type clients are business owners, founders, coaches, etc. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now I've gone from like being a video editor who's selling his time to
Mm,
a agency owner who's selling business knowledge, resources, and systems.
Well, that's how you grow.
Exactly, which
Mm,
is a lot more valuable than that. Now, with the whole video editing thing, the only way for me to be probably financially free in that is I need to become a better editor.
yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The issue with that is that there's so many people who can video edit on this earth. And to make the amount of money, so going back to the whole is your vehicle correct? If I want
Mm,
to make 10K a month, I need to
mm,
be a 10K a month type of editor.
yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? And
Mm,
then it's like, at my current skill set, how many videos would I have to do to make 10K?
mm,
And then you
mm,
have to also reverse engineer how many clients would I need to do outreach for to
mm.
do that amount of videos to make that amount of money.
It's not just skill set though, is it though? Because you could get a video editor working for Adidas or Adidas and you could be like, yeah, I could do that though. Or someone who's less qualified than me could do that. But it's because that's the client. So
Yeah,
it's
true. I
sometimes about who
think
you know.
I think that's it's yeah, what you're saying is correct, but I think then we're getting into like the whole connections and
Mm,
because at the same time you still have to have a certain skill set. Yeah, fair enough. I might look at them like, oh, I can do that,
mm,
but you still have to have a certain skill set to be able to even for especially like Adidas to reach out to you. See what I'm saying?
yeah.
So it's still those hours you put in to gain that skill. The whole connections and networking is a different
Mm,
thing.
yeah, for
I suppose
sure.
we'll get into that when it comes to like content creation, getting your name out there and stuff.
Mm,
But I'm just saying, just ensuring that you're in the right vehicle to get to where you are. So, like I said, with the whole how many videos would I have to make 10K?
mm,
Whereas now in my model, maybe it's like if you make people who have money more money, you
mm,
can get to that number a lot quicker.
mm,
But that's what I'm saying. Like the vehicle has changed, shifted.
Okay, so before you were doing more video editing, and now you're more doing the management side of things, like within the agency. But do you find that your workload has gone up or down? Because
So now it's more so information and systems you sell now, because it's everyone can video edit, but not everyone knows how to. So for example, I'm running the YouTube agency now. The reason I've moved into YouTube is because, not to say, because I don't like using the word stuff is saturated, but everyone can do Instagram and TikTok management.
yeah,
It's very,
you're spoiled for choice of who to go with.
exactly. So in terms of the competition, unless you're probably now getting hundreds of millions of views for a client, you're not going to stand out amongst anyone else. Now with YouTube is now, we've probably noticed as well, YouTube is now, even like when we sit down to watch TV, we sit down and watch YouTube.
Yeah, you don't have TV anymore.
Everyone's consuming YouTube now.
Yeah.
Everyone's moving back onto the long form, because short form brain rot is like a real thing. So everyone's moving more into long form. So now that there's more eyeballs there, that means there's more opportunity to get your service, your business out there. So I'm working with clients now who have a service and offer that they want to promote, essentially, and I'm helping them to like navigate YouTube. So I'm helping them with writing scripts. I'm helping them with the thumbnails, titles, the video editing. But when I say me, I have like a team that's doing it now.
Yeah,
I can't do everything.
No.
So I'm also learning a lot about YouTube, just in terms of like retention and writing a story or script that will keep people's attention. Because now that's long form is very different to short form. Short form is like, I think short form's definitely easier, because you only need to keep someone's attention for like max a minute, and then you've done well. Yeah. Trying to keep someone there for like 10-20 minutes is a whole different ball game. So not a lot of people can do that. So that's why I'm like, if there's, it's a whole supply and demand. If there's not enough supply in terms of YouTube experts or strategists, then the demand goes higher. Demand goes higher, you can charge more.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So that's kind of why I've shifted more into that lane. And it's funny because I've been praying for like direction and like, Lord, what you want me to do?
Yeah.
And that's basically what's been placed in front of me. So now, like I was saying like 2 episodes ago, like I'm creating an offer around that, and now I'm getting that out. And but the grace of God.
It's exciting because it's still an agency that doesn't change. It's just your offers change slightly from before.
Yeah.
And do you think that, why do you feel that you needed to change?
Just like what I said, in terms of like the right vehicle, like can your vehicle actually make money? But at the same time, just kind of repeating what I said, the whole social media management, etc., is grand. But me myself, I still love creating stuff. But now it's like, if you want to hire me out,
it's going to cost more because it takes up a lot of time.
Exactly, because now like my time's worth a lot more because I'm doing a lot more stuff. And I still want to put myself out there as a creator, but I want to work on like bigger campaigns, bigger projects. I don't want to just edit for any other person. And now that I've kind of like have like a team helping me with that stuff, I now have a bit of my time back, which I can now invest into me learning and upskilling. And
but entrepreneurs often glorify the hustle culture.
Yeah, that's
so. What's the balance with that?
100. You gotta hustle, bro.
But is there a balance though? Because
there's no such thing as balance, I don't think.
No,
there's not.
No. Elaborate.
What do you think? What's your view? We're talking a lot. Do you think you can balance it?
I think okay, sorry. I think you can balance it once you've reached a certain level where you can automate the business, that you really don't need to be there. I think at this moment in time, you need to, because at the moment you're changing the vehicle slightly, so it's really important that you're there. But I think once you're hiring other managers and so on, once you've got a whole team, then you can start having more of that balance.
I don't agree. I don't think balance is a thing, because like you said, now that I have more people underneath me, who's going to manage them all? It's me. Maybe the type of work I'm doing has changed. Yeah. And it's more so like decision making, but you're still.
But I'm not saying you're having like the whole week off completely or the whole month off. But I'm saying there's more of a balance there because you've delegated.
Yeah, but no. So, but see, I think there's a theory I heard about. I think it's called like the four burners theory. Right. I'm gonna try and flesh it out because I can't remember it, but I'm just praying that when I start speaking, it'll kind of come to me. So the four burners theory is to do with, when you're okay, cool. When you're cooking basically, so you've got four hobs or stove, whatever you call it, right? Let's just say I think they did it like, I think one pot is family, one pot is business, one is health, and the other is, what do you think the other one could be?
What, you done family, health,
Business.
so that would count as wealth, would it?
Yeah. Life?
Free time?
Yeah, maybe. Let's just,
Hobbies?
Personal time. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's say personal time, right?
Yeah.
So, what was I gonna say? So yeah, imagine like you're cooking, like, so the pots you have closer to you are the ones you need to pay more attention to. Sometimes when you've spent a lot of time where, let's just say, with family, you're gonna have to put business in the back burner because you're allocating more time to family. Maybe you're want to focus on your fitness, so maybe because you're focusing on fitness, you can't go out as much or you can't go to as much dinners. So then you have to put the family on the back burner because, like, I can't. Let's just say family and friends, because I can't chill with you guys too much. Or you want to focus more on life and activities and hobbies. Maybe the business needs to go back because now you want to just relax, take a bit more time to yourself. So I think it's like a rotating, not puzzle, but basically it's never going to be 25% per pot. Like, assuming there's four hubs, it's never going to be 25% each. I think it's like it's dynamic and it shifts. So there's going to be seasons where, because I was talking to one of my clients, you know who they are, right? So I was asking him, like, is there such thing as like balance? He says it's not necessarily balance, but there's seasons. So he'll have, for example, maybe 8 months where he's going hard, and then 4 months where he's still working, but just not as intense as the other ones.
So that would be the balance, though, no?
But it's still not balanced because I've worked hard for 8 months and chilled for 4. Not even chilled, but taking it easier for 4. It's not balanced. Obviously, you could say, oh, let's do 6-6, but balance would be I work.
No, but I mean, once he's in that second half after the first season, he's then taken it a little bit easier.
Yeah, but he's taking his foot off the gas doesn't necessarily mean it's more balanced. So, like I'm saying, he's probably peeled. So maybe let's just say, if we're doing the hub, maybe he's now doing 60%. Maybe in that, like, the extreme end. Sorry, he's now doing, what's a good number for me to use? Maybe he's doing 70% business, 10% of the rest of them.
Yeah.
Maybe now, after that intense period, he's now scaled the business back to 50%, and then the rest are what's 50
25, 25. No.
25 divided by 3. I should know this. It's 17.
I'm not even bothering.
It's like, I think it's like 17.333 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's what I'm trying to say. I feel like it's never balanced where everything's getting the same amount of attention all the time. I think it shifts and it flows, and you have your seasons, and you know when certain aspects of life are more important than others, and you have, because for example now, like last year when I went like ghost on the boys because I needed to focus, that we wouldn't call that balance. You see what I'm saying? Now when I'm doing a lot of fitness and stuff, I'm not resting as much. There's always, you know what I mean, push and pull, giving here and there. But yeah, so what do you think? Because you don't really agree.
You don't think balance exists?
No, I don't know. Perfect balance, as in harmonious balance, no. Because you're never giving, I don't think you're ever giving everything the same amount of energy. I don't believe that.
I do disagree.
Go on, give me your points, baby.
I don't even think it's points, but I think that you can have balance. So say that, okay.
2 seconds. Are we seeing balance as the same thing?
I don't think so.
Okay, imagine this seesaw, right? So
yeah.
Each side needs to be, both person has to be the same weight for it to just be level.
Okay.
That's what I mean. That's why I say it's balance.
Would you say then someone has balance if they are coming back from their corporate job at 5 o'clock and then the rest of the time they're spending with their family? Would you call that balanced? because they've
No,
spent.
because you probably spend the majority of the day at work.
Well,
And then at what point do you get time for yourself?
yeah, I'm
And then
not on
what
about
time?
all the
No,
other
no,
25%.
no. But think about it. Think about it. You're at work from your 9 to 5.
Yeah.
That's what's like 8 hours or
Mhm.
something.
Mhm.
Then a lot of people have to commute home another hour. It's 6.
Oh, I'm not on about the little specifics though.
No, but I'm trying to explain. This is what I mean by balance. It's still like you still have to commute home. So let's just say 9 to 6.
Mm.
What if you want to go gym? What about your fitness?
Mm.
What about you want to spend time with family? Kids are gonna go back to sleep at
Okay, you
8.
know, I'm seeing your point a bit more now.
Do you see what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say? It's I'm trying to say there's always a bit of push and pull.
Mm.
Like it's never equal. Not everyone's gonna get the same in every season. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Mm.
So I think going back on the seasons thing, I think you need to do it in seasons where it's like, okay, now I'm going to be a lot more intentional with spending time with my family.
Mm.
The business, I'm going to start delegating a bit more to make it a bit more hands off so I can spend this time here a lot more. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, no, I think
But
of
then
like.
there's certain times in business, for example, let's just say you're in e-com, let's just say it's December. You know you need all your attention there because that's when the most sales comes
Yeah.
in. Where it's like, okay, guys, I'm now going to start coming home hello, family. Okay, family, I'm going to start coming home at 8 because I need to spend a bit more time here.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is the balance that we think it is isn't necessarily. It's not that like an even playing field. It's push, pull, bit more here, bit more there, pull back. Bit
Yeah,
for
no,
me.
I see where you're.
That's kind of how I
see your
describe.
point.
So that's what I mean. Like, it's more of like a balancing act. So even, jeez, I was about to get into physics. I don't even know how to explain it. So it makes sense for people. But okay, even like with physics, right? It's the whole like center of mass. So you can have two things that weigh heavier and you can still have it like level, but it depends on how far from the center of mass that you have that person. So for example, you can be really heavy on the end. Sorry, there can be a really heavy person, a really light person. Imagine them on a seesaw. There's a point where you bring the really heavy person in closer and closer to the middle where both will be able to balance. Do you see what I'm trying to get at?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to say. It's like you can still have a lot of your attention on a certain area, but you can always find like a sweet spot where it's balancing, but there's still a lot more attention going here. It's just how you're. Yeah, I don't know.
No, that makes sense. I think that's where you and I were disagreeing in that sense.
Yeah.
Like you were like, there's no balance, and I was the one adjusting myself on the seesaw, going, no. From my POV, there is balance.
Yeah, if I just
and
stand
you're like,
here, then we can.
Yeah, and you're like, no, I see the whole seesaw. It's not balanced. And then I'm talking from the POV on the seesaw, and I'm like, no,
I'm
it
saying,
is.
I'm saying there's balance, but I'm saying there's balance because you're now here.
Yeah, that's
at
what
this
I'm saying.
position, which could be not as much time with this person after. Yeah,
Mm.
good analogy. Good question.
Thank you.
Good discourse.
Yeah.
Give me a high five. I like that one.
High five. Thanks. That was so
You can tell we
difficult.
haven't been spending our time stretching at least. Then.
No, I know. I just didn't want to bang the microphone as well.
Yeah, no, sick. But yeah, what? Yeah, nice one. But yeah, I think how long have you been in business with your Airbnb?
About a year.
Cool. Now I'm gonna ask you
Feels longer.
tell people. I think you can either relate it to business or Airbnb, whichever you prefer.
Yeah.
But what shocked you the most about being in business?
Oh God, so many things.
Like what? Actually, no. Like what like shifted? Because obviously, like you said, business is always like glorified and fantasized. And what word did you use?
No, I didn't use anything.
Don't say something there.
No, I just said always.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, there's a word I was looking for. I thought you said it. It's always like painted pretty. Now,
Always.
when you go into business, potentially you probably thought, okay, it's people painted pretty, but I know it's still gonna be tough.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Was
was realistic.
it tougher or was it what you expected?
Oh no, it was way harder than I expected.
Cool.
And I didn't go in thinking it was going to be easy.
Cool. But what was that point or what happened in that moment where you're like, whoa, this is a lot tougher than I thought it was going to be?
Yeah, it's just, you kind of feel like the walls are caving in.
But at what point?
Um,
Like what was it that made you think that?
when there's certain problems that arose that I didn't account for, or extra costs is a big one that I didn't account for. And you know, bear in mind, like I've been in theory doing this for 2-3 years, but then the best teacher is experience,
Mm.
and you're going to realize things that no theory could have taught you. Not really. So it takes you having to be in that experience to actually learn and deal with things head on in the
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
And it can be scary, especially if you're doing it on your own and you haven't got anyone to hold your hand and be like, "Don't worry, I'll take this one."
Yeah.
And you're like, "Oh, but I'm only one small person. Like, help me."
Yeah.
And so that's really is it's a lot. It's a lot to deal with, and you feel like the walls are caving in. So that's one thing that is definitely harder.
So can we summarize
Problem
that
solving.
as so we'll summarize that as un what am I trying to say? Basically something that arises out of nowhere that we weren't expecting.
Yeah.
Unforeseen circumstances.
Unforeseen circumstances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then almost anticipating another one coming.
Oh, I'm always on edge now.
Yeah.
I'm always on edge, and it's not a nice place to be.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, this will be a lesson. And it will just prepare me for bigger things. So I just got to keep that in mind. There's nothing that, you know, there's only so much that is in my control.
Facts.
And look, I got to remember there's people who have failed and still come out the other end, you know, as a success.
Yeah.
And I can't let that one experience ruin the rest of my businesses, or ruin the rest of just whatever I decide to do in general. Like, I can't let this scare me off.
Yeah.
But it is tough. It is tough.
That reminds me of like when, because basically I was asking one of my clients as well. He's doing quite well with his agency, and I was asking him about like, is this stuff like this is like, do you find this hard? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. So not even hard. I was like, does this like consume you? He's like, yeah, literally from the moment he wakes up, it's just business. But he also has mentors who are doing, or not even mentors, but friends in the space who are doing about, we could say like 5-6 million per year in the agent as an agency. And he speaks to them, and they're like, look, if this was what you want, this is what it is. Like, it doesn't get any easier. It is rough. So then there's a lot of times as well when you're going through stuff, I tend to say like, look, if the life you want is at the other side of this, you just have to deal with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, if you say you want this nice life and you want to be financially free, you want to be able to provide for that person, if you want that, you're going to have to deal with these stresses and anxieties, and it just comes with the territory.
Comes with it.
And I think it doesn't get any easier. So the quicker you become a lot more acclimatized to it and used to it and just roll with the punches, the easier it is for you to like survive.
Definitely, but it's definitely not something that people share too much. They share the good side of entrepreneurship or starting a business.
That's why you made your TikTok. You wanted to like share the journey about like the hard stuff and how it's been going, and how's that been going?
You set me up.
How's the TikTok going?
I haven't been posting since December.
Why
really.
December? That's 3 months, Jasmine.
Consistently since 3 months. Yeah.
What happened? Because bear in mind, you did a whole 30-day streak. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And then from there, you posted a bit, and then you just. So what's happening?
Yeah, I don't know. It's. I feel like it's a mix of burnout, but also just feeling uninspired as well.
Talk to us. Open up. This is a safe space. We're all growing together.
Oh yes.
Speak to us. Yeah,
it's just a mixture of burnout and just trying to find ideas. And you know, I've tried to sit with myself and go through ideas, and it can be really difficult. But I've realized that the problems that I have, other people probably have. So I try and create videos on that. But it's also like I want to enjoy what I'm doing, and I feel like the content that I did that worked for a little bit, I don't enjoy as much, because I filmed a bunch of B-roll and I was using the same B-roll for months and months and months and months. And then the thought of filming new B-roll is just, it doesn't excite me. So I'm like, okay, maybe I just need to switch up the type of content I do. Maybe I need to do talking to the camera ones now. Or maybe I need to just do carousels or something else. I need like a whole, almost like rebrand, not necessarily rebrand, but I need to change the vehicle slightly. I guess. I don't know. I need to change how I'm putting stuff out there.
How are you trying to do that then?
I don't know. I'm trying a few things and seeing what works because, voiceovers and doing, talking over B-roll and stuff, it's not inspiring me anymore. And it's like, look, if I'm trying to make this a long-term thing, it's got to be sustainable.
Okay, but have you been testing anything?
I've written some scripts, but I haven't gotten around to it.
We have to test in the marketplace. You have to put stuff out. Like you said on this podcast,
Mm-hmm.
you can go back to the timestamp.
Yeah.
You said experience is the actual best teacher.
No, it is.
So you need to actually, because I I understand. It's kind of like us with the whole podcast. We're planning this, planning that.
Yeah.
We want to see how it works first before.
Trial and error.
Yeah, but then we just put it out.
Yeah.
And then work that way. Why don't you do that?
Honestly, it's just like there's so much. It's headspace, if I'm being honest. Because I'm now taking out on another job. Obviously, the podcast takes a lot of time as well. So, yeah. So you know how you mentioned the hobs? TikTok hasn't even got its own space on the hobs. That's how much the hobs are being filled up. There isn't even a space.
So you've got to take a pot off and put another one on there.
This is what I'm saying. And since, the podcast, that takes up a lot of my time.
How can you optimize the time?
Anyone who wants to do any internship for the Growth Club and edit our videos, apply.
I like these internships. I was going to say, you're going to pay.
No. It's experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got to manage it because obviously I'm just doing a lot more now than I was before. So I could have time to be creative, get ideas, film, script, do the voiceover. Like that, all of that takes a lot of time. But now that time's being replaced with editing the videos for the podcast, putting them out, and so on. And that does take up some room.
How do you manage everything you're doing then? Like, do you have any systems, or you just kind of like? When I say systems, it doesn't have to be written out systems, but just is there ways in which you manage your work? Because you are doing a lot. Like,
yeah, I am doing a lot, but it comes down to whatever days I have free, mapping out, putting on my calendar what I need to do for that day. I mean, sometimes it can be difficult if I've got calls coming through, and that can kind of take some chunks out of my day.
calls from work or?
Calls from, because I do Airbnb coaching on the side.
Yeah.
So that's my that's my second job. So I don't know when those calls will come through, and I want to make sure I'm as available as possible to cater to other people.
Can they book on the same day?
Yeah, you can.
You should like not allow that, no?
No. I've got like a certain amount of time. You can't like book an hour or something before. I've got to have notice.
Yeah.
Basically. So for example, I had a call come through
even an hour
this
before,
morning.
I wouldn't do that.
No, it's fine because my day is done now. It was finished at 12. My last call came through at this morning for 11:30.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So it's fine. The way I manage it's fine. I've never been surprised.
Yeah.
Or missed anything.
Yeah.
So, and I check my calendar. So as long as it's in my calendar then I will stick to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, the weeks are just turning into months.
In what sense? What do you mean the weeks turning into months?
The weeks turning into months. Time's going quick. And so like, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll do that this week. And then stuff happens. And then before you know it, you're in March or April.
Until we started chatting that you hadn't posted since December.
Right? This is what I'm saying.
Nuts.
That was India. That was before India.
India was 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Hardly.
Crazy, isn't it? That's what I mean. The weeks are turning into months.
Yeah.
It's insane.
So you need to post. When are you going to post?
We'll see.
We'll see isn't an answer.
I know.
We'll see will turn into us talking about it in June.
Yeah, maybe.
That's not very growth of you.
No, it's not. But
so
it's
let's sort it out now.
No, but it's real at the moment. It hasn't got a space on the hob.
Let's figure it out. There's always a way to figure it out because it's something you want to do, obviously, right?
Yeah, it is something I want to do.
What would you say is on the hob? What pots have you got on your hobs right now?
I love this new analogy.
It's great.
Okay. So unfortunately, it has to be one of them is 9 to 5, my 9 to 5, because that's what pays the bills. Yeah. Second one would be my business / my second job, which is Airbnb coaching.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So again, there's 2 hobs for work.
No, you can't put both of them as work. One is work that you don't want to do, and then one is business.
Yeah.
Family.
Yeah, of course.
Cool. That's your third one, and then your fourth one.
I'm getting back into the gym, which also has fallen off as well.
So I don't think that pot's been on. Can you? Yeah, because of the mic. Yeah, has your fitness pot been? So no, come here. I'm gonna come for you now, right? So the TikTok pot isn't on the hob. Neither has the fitness pot.
No, it is.
Barely. It's more or less.
It's been
in the microwave.
No, it's been stewing.
Sorry, I was trying to.
You were trying to think of another word, weren't you?
No, when you said stewing, I was about to say it's tender enough now. You can take it out.
Yeah. Well, I've got a coach that I'm starting with soon, so that's how I'm gonna combat that.
Okay, but 2 seconds now. I'm saying in the last 3 months, you had 2 pots that weren't even cooking, weren't on the hob.
Podcast.
Pardon?
Podcast has been one of them.
Okay, so podcast, work, and then business. There's one more hob that was free.
Quality time. Family. Yeah.
Fairs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look,
so
maybe I just need to, try and invest in a 5th hob or something. I don't know.
maybe, but then certain stuff may not get cooked the way they should get cooked.
Yeah.
Because now you're not spending enough time. It's
Yeah.
not enough heat going on. So what I was gonna say is, remember going back to seasons. Maybe now Q2 you shift your focus a bit more to something else.
So guys, I won't be on the podcast too much in Q2. So it'll just be called The Growth Club with Mike.
And I'm just chatting for an hour. I couldn't do that. That's that's funny. But yeah, no, podcast is non-negotiable.
Yeah.
Family is non-negotiable.
Yeah. The others are still non-negotiable. Do you see my issue? Like my work.
No, but I think podcasts can go into the whole business side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's only so many. Look, I'm working on it.
Okay, but actively work.
I am actively working on it.
Huh?
I know that came out really weird. I'm actively working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
Okay. We're gonna check back on everyone in the comments. Make sure we check in on Jasmine. Make sure we check in on Jasmine.
Yeah.
We need to keep all of each other. We need to keep all of us accountable. So James, John, Lucy, Ross, whoever's in the comments, will also keep you guys accountable and keep me accountable. Oh yeah,
let's pick on you now.
I've been boxing. You can keep me accountable on that.
Yeah, but you become obsessed with that, so we don't need to worry about that. Hey, you're gonna be taking the camera. It's gonna be tracking you like crazy.
Oh, the focus should be good.
Okay. Anyway, you're shaking the whole room.
Sorry, guys. For the audio listeners, I was just showing my amazing boxing skills.
Okay. What else? What do you need to be kept accountable for, Mike?
Anything and everything. It's everything, I guess.
Anything and everything.
Yeah.
Pretty broad. Okay, what's on your hob?
Did I not say that already? Okay, right now, business, fitness. I think quality time is probably what I need to be kept accountable for. So I'm not good at that.
Yeah, we were meant to have our cooking thing.
We're meant to, yeah. So was it once a month or once a quarter?
Once a month, I think, and then once a quarter we're meant to have an activity.
Yeah. So you want to just explain what we're doing?
Yeah, you can.
So me and Jazz said at the start of the year that we want to be more intentional with the quality time. So I said, look, if we're going to do that, we need to actually schedule it in. So we said once a month we'll do a date night, either at home or out for food.
No, it was to be cooking. It was to learn something new.
So it's an in-house cooking date night where we'd make something new that we've never made before.
Yeah.
And then once a quarter we'd go out and do an activity, an actual activity.
Yeah.
So I think the first month we did birria tacos at home.
They were so good.
Bang.
So good.
Bro.
I dream about those still.
Banging.
So good.
We should make that soon.
Yeah.
Number 2.
We didn't get to number 2. It was meant to be croissants.
Yeah. But when did I make carbonara? Even though that's not
That
new.
wasn't counting.
It was.
No,
my carbonara.
That doesn't count.
No, it doesn't count as new, but didn't I say, hey, date night carbonara, no? It was definitely framed as a date night.
No, it wasn't. It was for one of our fasts.
Carbonara?
Yeah.
Say we'll lie.
Well, no, I won't. But, yeah.
Oh, so we've
only
done birria tacos.
Yeah.
Swear. There's.
So I think we know what you need to be paying more attention to.
I guess so.
Anyway, guys, help keep Mike accountable.
Yeah,
Send him some ideas.
Time. Okay, we'll start checking back in on the quality time and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Jeez, yeah. Fairs.
It's okay, guys, though. It happens. It's natural. When life gets busy, you are putting some things on the back burner. But like
That's
Mike
the
said,
word, on the back burner for the
but
4
like
burner
Mike
series.
said,
Yes.
like Mike said, it's seasons. It can be seasons as well. So
Yazerski.
so yeah, just as long as you're aware of it. Like I'm aware I need to be posting more on TikTok, and I'm gonna do something about it. But as well, it happens. Okay, everyone's got their
We're all
fifth.
human.
Everyone's got their fifth hob. Yeah, I'm gonna use that. Everyone's.
No.
Yeah.
In what context? So
Because there's no space for it. But they need to put it on one of the other hobs. Anyway, I think.
No, do you know that metal thing that you put like hot pots on?
Or you could call it a hot plate. Not, I know what you mean, but
No. Do you know those, like, so you don't like burn the
I know
counter?
what you mean. I just don't know what it's called.
If you call it fifth hob, then it's still cooking, and it's like, no, it's not cooking at all when you take it off. Anyway.
Anyway. Thanks, guys.
We ending the pod.
Yeah, it's time.
Oh, I was having
Gotta get
fun.
to my nail appointment.
Oh, interesting. You had to do your nails last episode too.
Yeah, I do. I do.
If you guys clocked onto that, you clocked onto that. If not, it's all good. But yeah, look, short episode this time. Thank you guys for enjoying. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. Hope you took some value from it. Ask some questions, message us on Insta personally if you want.
Yeah.
And yeah, just have a good and blessed day. So from Mike and Jazz, see you later.
See ya.
Peace.
Bye.